Roman Reigns just dropped a bombshell update that has the entire wrestling universe holding its breath, and what he revealed about his condition after the vicious beating at Clash in Paris will leave you absolutely stunned. Before we dive into the shocking details that everyone is talking about, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss a single update on this developing situation. The tribal chief took to social media in the hours following one of the most brutal assaults we've witnessed in recent memory, and his words carried a weight that sent shockwaves through every corner of the wrestling world. What happened in Paris wasn't just another beatdown or a typical attack angle. This was something that crossed lines and left fans genuinely concerned about the well-being of the man who has dominated the industry for years. The silence that followed the attack only amplified the anxiety, with millions of fans desperately waiting to hear anything about his status. When Reigns finally broke his silence, the wrestling community collectively leaned in to hear what the head of the table had to say. His message came through with a tone that mixed defiance with vulnerability, a rare combination from a man who has built an empire on unwavering confidence and unshakable dominance. He acknowledged the severity of what transpired, confirming that the assault was every bit as devastating as it looked, and perhaps even more dangerous than what cameras captured in those chaotic moments. The attack itself unfolded with a brutality that caught everyone off guard, even those who thought they'd seen everything in this business. Multiple assailants descended on Reigns with a coordinated precision that suggested this wasn't spontaneous rage but calculated revenge. Steel chairs crashed against flesh, announce tables splintered under the impact of body slams, and the barricades that separate performers from fans became weapons in an onslaught that seemed to have no end. Security struggled to restore order as the assault continued well beyond what anyone expected, and the longer it went on, the more serious the situation became. Reigns revealed in his update that the physical toll was significant, detailing injuries that would sideline lesser competitors for months. He spoke about the pain radiating through his body, the difficulty he experienced in the immediate aftermath, and the medical evaluations that followed once he made it backstage. The honesty in his words painted a picture of a warrior who had been pushed to his absolute limits, yet refused to show weakness even in acknowledging the damage done. He described the moments after the attack when adrenaline faded and reality set in, when every breath reminded him of the punishment his body had absorbed. But what really captured attention wasn't just the catalog of injuries or the acknowledgement of pain, it was what came next in his statement. Reigns made it crystal clear that this assault has only added fuel to a fire that was already burning with intensity. The recovery process, he explained, isn't about whether he'll return but about how devastating he'll be when he does. Every day of rehabilitation is being channeled into motivation, every moment of discomfort is being stored as ammunition for the reckoning that's coming. The tribal chief isn't looking for sympathy or understanding, he's promising retribution on a scale that will reshape everything. The timing of this attack and his subsequent update has thrown the entire landscape into chaos, with speculation running wild about what happens next. Match cards are being reconsidered, alliances are being questioned, and everyone from fellow wrestlers to management is trying to figure out how this changes the trajectory of major storylines. Reigns emphasized that those responsible made a critical miscalculation. They thought overwhelming force would break him when it has actually unleashed something far more dangerous than what they faced before. The calculated nature of his response, delivered while still dealing with the physical aftermath, shows a man who is already 3 steps ahead of everyone else. What makes this situation even more compelling is the broader context of where Reigns stands in his career. At the peak of his powers, having conquered virtually everyone put in front of him, this assault represents the kind of challenge that defines legacies. His update wasn't a farewell or a plea for time, it was a declaration that the most dominant chapter of his reign is still being written. He spoke about the responsibility he feels to his family, to his position, and to everyone who has stood beside him throughout his journey to the top. That responsibility, he made clear, demands a response that will echo through wrestling history. The wrestling world is now left in a state of anticipation that grows more intense with each passing day. Reigns concluded his update by making it abundantly clear that the clock is ticking for those who participated in the Paris assault, and when he's ready to return, there will be nowhere to hide and no mercy to be found. The recovery isn't just physical preparation, it's the calm before a storm that will leave destruction in its wake. Every fan, every wrestler, and every person watching this unfold knows that what comes next will be absolutely explosive, and the fallout will reshape everything we thought we knew about where things were headed. Don't forget to subscribe so you're right here when the tribal chief makes his return and unleashes the full force of his vengeance on everyone who dared to cross the line in Paris.